So, our first lesson of today is read and write archive file formats. That's the link which I just put into the chat window. When you click on that link, if it takes you directly to the course, then it's because you're not registered just yet. If it takes you directly to the lesson, then you are registered. So when you click on that link, you can choose register and then click on the lesson, and that'll take you to the course materials. So in this first course for today, we're going to be taking a look at reading data from archive formats such as zip files, but also accessing data which is being stored in an online repository, a URL, such as an Amazon S3 bucket. When you're using FME and accessing a source or accessing a source data set with your reader, you can read directly from zip files. It is not necessary to unzip the data set that you are using. This can be really handy when dealing with some formats such as Esri shape files or ArcGIS file geodatabases, or even MapInfo tab files or MapInfo MIFMID files. These are files that have additional files in the data set. So with shape .shp file, and you also have a .shx, .dbf. With file geodatabases, the file is actually a folder with many files within it, which means that if someone's giving you that file, chances are it's zipped up. Or if it's being hosted in an online repository, then it would have to be zipped up in order for you to read it. So here we can see an example with a mapinfo tab file. This is a parks.zip file. The various files that make up this mapinfo tab file have been zipped up. I don't have to unzip it to read it with FME. I can point directly to the zip file. Now, this also works with entirely file-based formats, such as an AutoCAD file. Sometimes AutoCAD files may also have additional files as well. If you're working with AutoCAD files with FME, AutoCAD files don't actually store coordinate system information, but if there is a .prj file, a projection file, this is an Esri projection file with the same name, with that file, perhaps in that zip file, then the AutoCAD file is coordinate system aware. When you are selecting your files, the file selection dialog often has a filter so that you would choose a specific type of file for that format. In this case here, we can see we have star.tab so that you're not seeing the tab and the dat file, I believe is the other file. We wouldn't want you to accidentally choose the wrong type of file when reading in this data set. But the file filter will automatically allow you to choose zip files. When writing files, you can simply add a .zip to the file path. Ultimately, FME treats zip files just like part of the normal folder structure. Here, if I had, in this case, I'm writing out to OGC City GML. If I'm writing this out, I can simply add parks.zip to the file path. When it comes to other file compression formats, 7-zip, I know for sure is supported. I believe ARG is as well. I haven't actually played around with those other formats though. We can experiment in just a moment. So we can have a parks.zip file. This will be treated like a folder. Keep in mind, if I'm writing out to a city GML, it may be expecting a GML file to be specified as well. That can be part of a subfolder or subname. So we're not limited to just having the zip file. Within the zip file, you can also have a complete folder structure. You can also have zip files within the zip file. So for example, here we can see output training parks.zip, and within that we have our parks GML file. Now, a note about going through the FME Academy content. At the end of the FME Form Advanced Training course, there's a part 1 and a part 2. Once you have completed all of the courses within this training course, the final course will issue you a certificate of completion. In order for the certificate of completion to be issued, you have to have completed all of the quizzes which are at the end of each lesson. Here we can see that I've already done this particular one. Let me hit take again. So at the very bottom of each lesson, there is a quiz. You can just hit start and it will take you into the quiz, and you have to get I think it's a little under 100%, but with only 3 questions, realistically, you do have to get all of them correct. So, FME cannot read 7-zip archive files. I'm going to say false. And you must use a single merge feature type to read from an archive file format. Oh, that's false. And in which case, which benefit would reading from an archive file format? Or writing to an archive file format. You need to upload a large number of files to a single location afterwards, especially by appending records. I'll do that one there. There we go. So yes, we can read and write 7-zip. So that is the first lesson. So please do read and write archive file formats. While you're working through the lessons, I am going to be turning off my camera and microphone, but of course, Sam and I will still be here to answer any questions that you may have. In the chat window, I'll indicate which lesson we're working through and also indicate when we'll be starting up again. When I provide a time for when we'll be starting up again, I am referring to the time here in the lab clocks. This is Pacific time. So I'm going to give you guys 10 minutes. So we'll continue at 9:30. Good luck, everyone. If you run into any problems accessing the FME Academy, can't find the particular lesson, or run into an issue with the lesson, please let us know in the chat.